Governance is not simply about compliance, about cost of compliance, about structures being put in place, but it has been shown in survey upon survey that those entities that have the strongest governance practices tend to show the best return on equity, they tend to show the best sustainability of their business, and they tend to benefit from the highest premium when it comes to pricing on the sale or acquisition of their equity. As an authority, we're putting in place a very detailed implementation and sensitization program to make sure that the broader spectrum of the users and beneficiaries of this code understand its content and understand the requirements that are going to come from it. But also making sure that key players like the media, the professional advisors who will be involved are also fully cognizant of what this new expectation is going to bring. And with the hopeful soon early introduction of the stewardship code, we also hope to have a complementary document that's going to make sure that institutional investors will play a much more proactive role in the oversight and ensuring the right governance standards are being put in place. So we really hope, with the kind support of the National Treasury, that in addition to the early gazettement of the new stewardship code, we'll be able to see some of these key policy initiatives also being adopted to make sure that we can have a very cross-cutting framework for the implementation and oversight of a sound, stable, and sustainable capital market in Kenya.
It is our pleasure this evening that finally the code has been gazetted and that the code is indeed going to be implemented. It is a culmination of the committees and stakeholders' rigorous processes and engagements that informed the development of the code. Indeed, the tasks that the committee had were huge and challenging. Secondly, we had to coordinate the implementation of amendments to the corporate governance guidelines that were in existence at that point in time and applicable regulatory requirements. The committee not only delivered on its mandate, but went further to address other key corporate governance issues. So the development of the code was guided by the corporate governance blueprint. That is the first document we did prepare, a policy document that was prepared by the committee and approved by the Board of Capital Markets Authority. The code is indeed a product of a multi-stakeholder input from government agencies, listed companies, professional advisors, investors, and indeed the general public. We did have very many stakeholder engagements just to get input from the different stakeholders about what they wanted to see in the code. Corporate governance is just not about what is written in the law or what is put in the codes. We must be prepared as a country to go beyond what is in the law, because corporate governance is about hearts and minds. We must believe that what we are implementing is truly valuable to us, and therefore we have every reason to implement it.
This code is expected to go a long way in enhancing stability, competitiveness, and the efficiency of Kenya's issuers of securities to the public. In addition to the code, the authority has been working with stakeholders on developing a stewardship code. And this document will complete, in some ways, the set of regulatory frameworks necessary for effective corporate governance. Ultimately, the value of this code will only be unlocked through its full implementation. And to this end, the authority has embarked on an implementation strategy to promote awareness and effective implementation by issuers. And therefore, I urge all issuers to read the code, understand their obligations, and to take action. This code, though not a panacea, will take us a long way forward in ensuring well-run businesses, greater stability in the financial markets, and properly earned reputation among our investors, our shareholders, customers, partners, and the wider market.
This important milestone comes against the backdrop of the liberal reforms currently taking place in Kenya in the public sector, and in order to realize more effective utilization of resources and effective public management of our economy. So going forward, potential investors in public issues will therefore be expected to pay particular attention to the quality of governance of the issuing entity prior to participating in such offers in the primary market or trading the secondary market in shares or bonds. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also take this opportunity to commend the Capital Markets Authority for being recognized as the most innovative capital markets regulator in Africa in 2015 by the Africa Investor, which is part of the Pan-African Awards designed to recognize Africa's best performing capital markets institutions. The National Treasury will be watching and following very keenly the implementation of this document, which will be a key driver to the realization of Kenya's Vision 2030 aspirations.